Hi everyone, I'm Kate Kennedy and I'm here with day 18 of 100 Days of Kane, PA. And I'm really excited to be at Bell's Meat Market today. So we're going to talk to Jack Bell Sr. and he has some great stories about how this place began, some of the most popular items, and then a few tales about his fishing and hunting adventure. So you're in for a real treat. I'm going to go ahead and flip around. We're going to go ahead and walk in. I know you guys are familiar with this place. We're gonna go ahead and start right back here at the actual meat station. I don't know what you'd call it. Hello.
Hi there, girl. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
Well, thanks for having us here today. We're real excited to talk about all of this.
Different things in the butcher shop.
Different things in the butcher shop, yes. And I guess the first question I have is, how did you get to Kane and how did you decide to open this place?
How did I get to Kane? Well, I was working for the Market Basket up in Wellsville, New York. I was a meat manager up there. And this opened up down here at the Market Basket. So I came down and we had the deli and the meat department over there. It's where that, what is over there now?
The Tops is there now, or Save a Lot. Yeah, Save a Lot, yep.
Well, then one day a fellow told me, he said, "You're crazy, start your own butcher shop." So I thought, man, I think I'll go ahead and do that. I talked to Carol, I talked to my wife, I said, we're going to start a butcher shop. Well, I worked for the Market Basket for 13 years. And when I walked out of the door here, it was 45 years here.
Oh, wow.
And that's a long time. And I never not wanted to come to work. All them years, because it was such, every day you did something different. You talked to different people every day. And like I said, you can't remember everybody's name, but hi buddy, how you doing? That's what you say.
Yeah. So you're not from Kane.
No, I'm actually from Bolivar's, where I'm from.
Bolivar, New York.
That's where I went to school and everything. But like I say, I worked for them for 13 years and they were a good company to work for. And then Bell's, they weren't too bad to work for.
I heard the guy that started it is all right. So when you came to Kane, it was what year for Market Basket?
Let's see, it would be, I started this place in 71, so it would be about 5 years, 6 years back from that,
Okay.
So it would probably be 65 or something like in there.
Okay, and then in 1971 you open up Bell's.
Right.
What was it like when you first opened? What were you making and how big was it?
Well, it was about the same size. Right now, they just remodeled the store is what they've done. But it was about the same size. They put 40 more feet back in here is what they did. And we had service meat counters. I got them both both from a business uptown, from Johnson's Meat Market. And they were all getting ready to quit then.
Good time to come in.
Yeah, it was a good time for me.
Yeah.
And we put them in there and they were service counters, and it was a little different because it was all self-service over there. And so I had to learn a new trade, how to go ahead and handle it. And but it's been a good time. We make so much sausage in here. When I first started, we made hot sausage and sweet Italian and Corv and breakfast sausage. Now they make 35 or 36 different kinds of sausage.
Oh my gosh.
From alligator sausage to Greek sausage, down there in the thing you can see all those sausages.
What's the most popular?
Down in the end.
Oh, here it is. What's the most popular sausage that you sell?
The Greek sausage is the most popular.
And what's all in that?
That has the feta cheese and spinach in it. And it's a mild sausage.
Yeah, that's a lot of sausage. That's all made right here, huh?
Yeah, we make that smoked Polish. That smoked Polish recipe came from Yugoslavia.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, a fella said, "Me show you how to make kibasi," and his name was Mike Bradley. And so that's when I was at the Market Basket. And I brought the recipe here with me, after he showed me how to go ahead and do that. But that's how they made it in Yugoslavia, right like that. Because the first batch he made, he took home and smoked it for me.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, it was a good deal.
So what would you say your best-selling product is?
The best-selling
All
product?
over bestseller is.
Well, I'll show you what it is. I knew he was coming. This is what you call a griller. We make this griller thing. It's unreal. What this has in it is a boneless chicken breast. And then we put Greek sauce or Virginia ham, Swiss cheese, and then fill it up with Greek sausage and roll it and put bacon on top.
That's everything.
Yeah, it's the best thing you ever eat.
And how did you even think to make a griller? How did that come about?
Well, I had a customer that comes in here every Sunday. Dr. Page from over there at Pitt Bradford. He's a teacher over there. He said when he was a kid, he said he used to go to the butcher shop with his mama, and they had this thing they called a griller. I said, well, what was it? He said, well, they took a chicken breast and they put this in it and that in it. I just sort of slipped my mind, you know, and about a month later I thought about it one day. I said, I'm gonna make that darn griller. So I went back there and I whipped my interpretation of a griller up. He showed up Sunday. I couldn't wait for him to come, you know. And I pulled this thing out. And he said, Jack, he said, that thing that they used to make out there, you could hold in your one hand. He said they used to slice a chicken breast and put some stuff in it. Well, I said, this is my interpretation here, you know. And this is a half of a griller.
Oh my God.
A whole one, like in here, right there.
Oh yeah, look. That's definitely at least 2 hands to hold it.
You can see them in there.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I can see why those are popular. Those look amazing.
Well, he's ate a lot of them since, I'll tell you that.
That's awesome.
They make them every day.
And you guys also do pickling and have your own dips and things that you make. So it's really a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
For a lot of different types of things.
Every day we try to come up with something new, you know.
Yeah.
And how they come up with the names for these things, I don't know.
Well, okay, so...
Here's another one here for you. See that stuffed pepper?
Yeah.
That's stuffed with that Greek sausage. That's one of my favorite things to eat at the house.
Oh, okay.
That's very good. That takes about 2 hours to fix that.
That looks good. It all looks good. And when you weren't busy here at the shop, or even if you were busy, you still found a way to get outdoors, right?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
an avid hunter and fisher, from what I understand.
Well, I used to get out of here to go fishing. Sometimes I had to go at night.
Oh.
And I have a night story. One time I went down there to Kinzu at night. You know, I used to go down there fishing walleyes at night. And I'm up there by Corn Planter Point. Oh, this is quite a while ago. And I went to start my big engine, and it's about 11 o'clock, and it didn't start.
Oh, no.
I said, holy moly, all I had is my trolling motor, and it didn't have a whole lot of battery left in it, because I'd been using it all night. So I started for home, and got down as far as the Kinzu Bridge, and it was still dark. I got halfway up to the boat ramp there at Elijah. Some guy was putting his boat in.
Wow.
He hooked onto me and hauled me up there, so I got out. Coming up the road, here comes Carol and Jack.
Come looking for you.
Yeah, they figured out, how come he isn't home? So,
Oh, well, either way, you wouldn't have been stranded because
Right.
because they came looking for you. But thank goodness someone was there. Were you scared?
half a night. No, I wasn't
I was
scared.
scared.
I was just riding along.
So, have you always been a fisherman?
Yeah. I don't know. My aunt told me the story one time when I was real young. She says that when I was about 3 years old, you used to go down and sit on the driveway ditch where the trestle went under the driveway with a stick and a piece of string on it. Not even a hook, but you was fishing.
This all started even probably before you were 3.
Yeah, that's right.
So can you tell us some stories about your fishing life, your fishing adventures?
Well, I did a lot of fishing. I used to fish bass tournaments in Pennsylvania, and got lucky a couple times and qualified that won the state meets. You know, they had a Raystown, and that qualified me to go on to the Bassmaster Classic.
That's incredible.
Yeah, well, where they take 44 guys from the country, all the pros go, and they take from these federations. I think they send 4,
Wow.
maybe 2. But anyway,
And
I
you
made
were one of them.
Yeah, and I made the Bassmaster Classic. That was back in '88.
What do you have to do to qualify? Just catch the
Well,
most fish? Or?
what you have to do is you have to qualify to be on the Pennsylvania state team, and then go. The Easterns come. They bring about 5 or 6 states here, and they all have their teams, you know. And you have to be the number 1 man on the team, on the Pennsylvania state team, to qualify for that thing. And I was lucky enough.
And it's about how many fish you catch, or how
Yeah,
many
it's a
pounds?
pound each.
The pound
It's a
each?
pound each that you catch, you know. And after you got qualified for it, I went on to that, and old Hank Parker tells me, he says, "You better get out here and fish with us, boy." So the next year I talked it over with Carol. I said, "Well, we can go, you know, because it was wintertime when all that stuff was going on. They'd start, you know, in the fall there, late fall." And so the next year I started, and for 15 years I did the Bassmasters and the FLW tour.
Wow. So
And
where?
that was a lot of fun because I was all over. I fished in every state there was, just about. Arkansas and Texas and Louisiana and Florida. They'd always start down by Florida, you know, because it was middle of the winter. But those Louisiana people are the nicest people right there in East Texas. That when they get up in the morning, when their feet hit the ground, you know what comes out of their mouth? What are we cooking today? Everybody wants, you know, they try to cook up something different and new all the time. And they're the most friendly people you ever dealt with.
Oh, that's so nice. And so you would travel during the winter. So you had the store up here,
Yeah, I had the helpers run the store.
and you'd be gone from when to when?
Well, I'd leave here in January and I'd come back in May and June. In June to start the flower business outside, you know.
Oh, yeah,
And, you know, it was a lot of running around because that's what you did. You fished every day.
Wow.
You practiced for the next tournament. You might have one down there. You might have one in Florida to start with. Well, the next one would be up in Alabama. So you had to go to Alabama and practice and practice. And, well, that was, you don't call it practice, you said fun.
I was going to say, that sounds like a great, I mean, what a great life. You got to spend half the year fishing for 15 years, right?
Right.
You did that.
Yeah.
And then the other half here doing something you love, working at your meat shop.
I had it made.
Yeah.
I really did, yeah.
And your wife would travel with you to the tournaments, right?
She used to go with me all the time. And actually, I probably would still be doing that if she could go. She got that darn MS stuff and had to stay home a couple years, so that's what made me retire.
Yeah. Yeah, but this doesn't slow you down from fishing around here.
No, I fish quite a bit around here.
What's the trick to being a good fisher person?
What is what?
The trick? I guess patience.
To be a fisher person,
A fisher person. A good fisher person.
you got to take it when they whip on you. Because those fish whip on you too, you know.
That's true. You have some big ones. Do you mind walking around and pointing out a few of the
No, I
fish?
can show you some nice fish on the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah. Where are we going to start?
Okay, come on.
Okay.
Right here's the largest bass I ever caught. That was 10 pounds, 4 ounces. And I caught that in South Carolina.
That's a big bass. Look at that mouth. That's no joke. Is that called a big mouth?
Largemouth.
Largemouth bass?
10-4.
Yeah.
That was a big one. That was quite a while ago.
There's always something to
here.
see here.
Who's caught that muskie?
Oh, this is a muskie, huh?
Yeah, that's one Jack got down here.
And where'd he catch it?
Kinsu.
Right here, right here.
Yep, down to Kinsu.
That's a big one. The teeth of muskie really.
That's a 30-pounder. That's a pretty big one. Up here, here's a walleye that I caught ice fishing up in Canada. That was 14.5 pounds.
Wow.
Here's one that came last fall from down here at Kinzoo, right down by Red Bridge, or not Red Bridge, Kinzoo Bridge.
Wow.
That weighed 13.1.
That's a big fish.
That's a big fish, yeah, for
That's a
Kinzoo.
big
That's the
fish.
biggest one ever caught down here.
That's a big one. Oh, that little newspaper article with it too, huh? Oh, that looks nice.
Oh, it was in the paper.
That's a big fish, yeah.
There's the biggest one I caught. That's 42.5 pounds. That came from Kinzoo.
Right here. I just can't believe how.
Willow Bay. Oh, I have a story about that one. And that guy, I said, the thing's underneath it there. But I caught that fish at Willow Bay, and I was going up in New York State, or up in the reservation to fish for walleyes. Well, I caught it on the way up there, you know. I was flipping a jig and caught that.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I got it in the boat, and I said, now what am I going to do with this thing? Because I wanted to bring it back. So I seen a tree over there by Webb's Ferry. There was a tree in the water. So I drove over there, and I had this big nylon rope, and I went through the fish's gill in his mouth and hooked him in that tree, out in the tree, you know. Well, I came back that afternoon. I'd been up there fishing. I'd caught a nice limit of walleyes, and went over to that tree. There was a guy just down below it, about 20 yards. I thought he was in it when I was coming. I said, man, he's right in that tree. Well, he was just below it a little ways, you know, so I didn't say a word. I just went in there, drove up to the tree, got a hold of that rope. That fish went nuts. Jumped out of the water, splash, bang, clang. And I just whooped in the boat with it, backed out of there and left. And I'll guarantee that guy's still talking about that today.
That would have been unexpected
Yeah,
for sure.
because I never said a word to him. I just left.
Funny, and gosh, look how big that is.
Yeah.
And you eat all of the meat from the different fishes that you catch? How's that work?
Have what now?
Do you eat the meat of the fish? Like, do you eat?
Oh yeah, those are good. I don't know whether I ate that or not because I'd take it to the taxidermist. But,
Yeah, it's true.
but yeah, I eat a lot of walleyes. I like walleyes, probably the best.
Yeah.
Perch are good.
Well, that is awesome.
But you know, another thing that's really good eating down here is these white bass. They're one of my favorites, and the Kinzoo's full of them right now. You can go down there, and if you can find a school of those white bass, how you go about it? I use a spoon on them. I use a Castmaster spoon, and you look at your depth finder, look at it until you find, you know, they show up real good on the depth finder. Drop that spoon down, and you get one on. There'll be 3 or 4 come up with it, you know, try to get it away from it. You can sit there and catch a half dozen or whatever, maybe 20 out of that same school.
How do you like to cook them?
Well, I fry them. I use some. Here's some of the nicest stuff to cook them. Right over here. See that shore lunch right there?
Oh yeah, you just put the
Oh, that is something else, man. That does a job on them.
Yeah.
You know, there's the beer batter shore lunch, cornmeal. Where's there?
Oh, the
This
oven
is
can
oven.
bake it.
I don't know, maybe they sold all the original. Well, it'll be in shortly if they don't have any more.
Hi. So is there anything else before we wrap up today that you'd like to share? I feel like there's a million more stories you could tell.
Yeah. Well, one time, go ahead, man. One time I was up here at the register, and
To fish.
this lady came in with her 2 little kids. And they'd been back there shopping in the meat counter. You know, they come up to the register and they said, the missus says to me, she says, you know, Jack, we go down to the pond and fish all the time, never catch anything. I said to that little boy, I said, here, I said, what you need is one of my fishing cards. Come over here. And I got him up by the register. He was about as high as that register bench, you know. And I got him over there by the thing, you know. I said, now how this works is, I'll sign it, give it to you. You get down to the pond and those fish aren't biting, you get it out and rub it. I said, they'll start right up. I heard the little bird when he was going out the door. I don't believe him. The next day, they're back in here. Their mother's smiling. She said, Jack, they caught 3 fish down there rubbing that card. Well, he left it lay long enough for something to bite it, you know.
We're all going to be coming up here looking for a signed card.
Yeah, that's what
That's
you
what
need.
it takes.
Well, and then the little boy got bigger, you know, and he got to hunting deer. So the first deer he shot was a big old 10-point, and he got it to the house, and the mother was telling me about it, you know, and I seen him. I said, "Hey, did you pull that card out and rub it to get that big?" Oh,
well,
that
you
was
make a
fun.
lot of great relationships. This is a place that everyone walks in and feels really welcomed. You've set a great tone for that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share today?
No, keep your line wet. That's all you have to do,
That's the trick, huh?
and it don't have to be a worm.
All right, Jack. Well, thanks so much for your time, and we really appreciated hearing some of your stories today.
Okay, thank you for coming down.
All right, everyone. So there you have it. There's a million more stories. So next time you're in, see if Jack's around and he can share another fishing or hunting story with you. He's, really accomplished and was kind of humble in the way he was talking about it. But 15 years on the professional circuit for fishing is no joke. And he's right here in Kane, PA, representing all over the United States. And so we're so happy to have him. Bell's is a legendary place here. It's been around for 45 years. 45 years, and people from all over come to get the meats that are made right back here in the butcher shop. So we're really grateful that his business is here and that the legacy has been passed on, and it was really fun spending time with him today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 19.